Whoa, that's your favorite astrologer live in the flesh, live and direct? Yes, it's Lex. Nevertheless, let's get to this Lionsgate portal on the Aquarius full moon. I've been hearing people always talk about the Lionsgate portal. The Lionsgate portal is open, right? And now that we're in the Lionsgate, I said, what is that? What does that mean? And I was seeing some things talk about how the Earth is aligned with the star Sirius. Potential energy of the Earth is at its highest. Orion's belt. The star Sirius is located in the constellation Canis Major, right? Which is the dog constellation. And it's kind of close to Gemini, but Sirius is called the dog star because it's in the constellation of the dogs, right? Now we know that the star Sirius has a very strong significance with ancient Egypt. They actually centered their calendar around the rising of the star Sirius because the rising of the star Sirius coincided with the flooding of the Nile River. Well, the astronomical term for this is the heliacal rising of Sirius. When a star is heliacally rising, this means that it's coming up with the sun, or the star, it arises on the eastern horizon. All right, in tropical astrology, that is in Cancer, right? That's 13 degrees Cancer. But then if we were to look at it in sidereal astrology or in Vedic astrology, this would be in Gemini, or we know that it's in the dog constellation. But if we were to look at this in Vedic astrology, Sirius is in the constellation Ardra, or the nakshatra Ardra. When we talk about 8-8, we got to know that time has not always been the same. When you look at the calendar and you see 8-8, the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians didn't have a 8-8, or what is that? Because people will say that, oh, our ancestors always had a 8-8. And then I'm like, wait, the ancient Egyptians, they did not start their year when we start our year. Their 8-8 was a completely different 8-8. And the ancient Egyptians, they were living in a completely different part of the northern hemisphere. Their calendar, once again, is completely different. The ancient Roman calendar was a lunar calendar. So they definitely did not have an 8-8. Well, according to historical sources, the 10-month Roman calendar was changed by Numa Pompilius, right? That's the second king of Rome. And that second king of Rome is the king that created that 12-month calendar. But the 12-month calendar is not something that they came up with. The 12-month calendar is something that's pretty ancient, but also the ancient Romans, they started their year in spring. The Babylonians, they also started their new year in spring as well, right? But listen, we have to understand, tropical astrology, yes, it's typically vibed out on with the northern hemisphere, but Babylon and ancient Greece, ancient Rome, they were on another part of the northern hemisphere. Even if you guys want to say that the Lionsgate is 8-8 or whatever, we already explained that these people had a completely different calendar, right? Which means that they chronicleize time differently. That's one whole thing within itself. But then when you factor in location, the Lionsgate differs depending on where you live, depending on where you're situated with that star Sirius. You're gonna experience that it rises at a different